Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Here are my flea market finds for the past month or so. Anyways, a lot to go through, a lot to talk about. First of all, I picked these up at a thrift store. They're basically 100-year-old curling irons. And I paid only $1 each. So right here, made in France. Pretty cool. And something like this is more, not really for me to collect, but more for resale value. $2 into, I'd say maybe $50 for the pair. Next, found this little bottle and it was like $3. But there's some age to it and there's a little bit of silver. See the silver hallmarks. So I'm thinking probably close to 100 years old. I didn't bother checking out the hallmarks, but just by the style, probably, maybe even older. This bottle, I don't know, this month's been antique month or something. This bottle is actually a poison bottle. I saw, you know, like when you go to Value Village, there's like racks of clothing, knickknacks in the shelves and everything. But right above the clothing, there's these random bottles and vases and I guess glassware, I guess, or, well, anyways, they probably thought this was like a repro, like a new item, but actually it is an old item for $2.99. And there's some markings on the bottom, I guess the manufacturer. But this is like definitely, I think 1880s or something. Pretty cool. There's a spot for a label and has these crisscrossing hatch marks, cobalt color. And I've seen pictures where the top would also have like these sort of hatch marks. And I guess, you know, at nighttime you'd feel it and you go, oh, this is poison, don't drink it. Poison / medicine or whatnot, chemicals. But without the top, I would say it's a $30 to $40 bottle. This is pretty cool. And got this big old antique brass kettle from, oh, it's so heavy. Sorry, I think it's brass or maybe it's copper. But it was half price day at this thrift store, so that was $15. And definitely got at least 20, let's say at least $20 of metal if it was scrapped. But definitely don't, you know, I wouldn't scrap this. This would definitely be a cool decor piece to sell as a antique decor piece. Maybe $50, maybe more. 15 into 50 to, I don't know, 50 to 60 is worth it. Same place I found this. So this was half price, $7.50 from the original price. And it's copper, it's quite heavy copper. If anyone has any information where this came from, I was thinking maybe from the Middle East, like Iran. It's just the way they depicted the lion. That's what I'm figuring. There's no markings or anything. So you got these birds, you got a lamb, you got a lion. Almost sounds like something out of, you know, old parables or from the Bible or something. I don't know. Pretty cool. Hammered into shape. like the design, pretty nifty. And I also got this from the same place, so half price of $4, so that was $2. And I believe it's Chinese. Has age, probably late 1800s, early turn of the 20th century. But there is a break, which is common, wood items, shrinkage. So here's the crack there. You could tell the really old ones got this, they have like inlaid, I think it's glass or bead eyes. I'm gonna do a close-up of it. You see right there? That's how I usually tell the old ones, right? So, I don't know, maybe I could turn this into maybe $20 to $30. So I thought that was a good possible flip. And what else is there? All right, got this Japanese bowl. Pretty cool. Has some age. I'm pretty sure it's at least 120 years old. Probably Meiji period. $3.99. No markings. So actually, if it was export wear without markings, that would be pre-1897. So I think this is Akita ware. Pretty cool. There's also another name for that. Not Kutani. I think it might be Kutani ware. I'll give you a better look at it. Pretty neat. And then we have this little Kodak camera. And it was also at the Value Village in a random area, not even with the collectibles. It was like near the clothing. And I don't know, maybe they didn't realize it was a camera. But you got the original leather handle, which usually they go missing or broken. It says here, Rainbow Hawkeye, number 2, Model C. Pretty good shape. Here's a label, or not a label, imprint. More information. And I think this is probably $30, maybe $40. Nice little decor item. All right, now this, I got a pair of these. Saucer and cups, $2.99 a pair. And it's Wan Yu. That's what my research looked up. So this style's been around. They call it the rice pattern because you bring it to the light and you could like see through it in a bit. Pretty cool. But this is the very early version because the modern stuff would basically be, the design would be imprinted, or what do you call it? Transfer wear, yeah. But this is actually hand done. If you look closely, everything's hand painted. Even the border. Look at that. And the fact that the back has Chinese, the manufacturers, Wan Yu, not made in China, or even, the same thing, but in Chinese, made in China. That's all the modern stuff. So this is probably from my research under this name says like between 1900 and 1930. So this is like a transitional period. Basically between the Qing Dynasty, the last of the Qing Dynasty, into the Chinese Republic era. So pretty neat example and very cheap. And if I were to sell it, maybe I'd get 50 bucks a set. I mean, for each set. Like all that decoration, all by hand. And tiny bit of roughness on the edge here. Not like you're gonna really use it, but you know, can't complain for $2.99. See that little, you could say it's a little bit of chipping, flea bites they call it. So I got a pair of those. That was a nice find. Would like to get a little bit earlier, like into the literally Qing Dynasty ones. But you know, this comes second best. Still old. This was a flea market find. So I believe it is an Chinese export silver salt cellar with a C. So you'd have salt there, and you'd have a little salt cellar spoon to take your salt and sprinkle it, right? And it was listed at $15 on the table, but I asked them, hey, can you do 10 bucks? And the lady said, sure, why not? It's okay. And she said, but it's not silver if you think it's silver. But you know what? Honestly, I think it's silver. I think she thought it wasn't silver because there are some corrosion, green corrosion here and over here. But I've seen that before with these sort of containers that held salt. That's why usually they would have like some sort of blue. I know the Western ones would have a blue glass liner. That way the salt would not be in contact with the silver, which would create like some sort of chemical reaction. Because the silver wouldn't be totally pure. It'd be like, I don't know, even sterling 925. So 7.5% copper usually mixed in. And that's what it's really reacting to, I would think. And if there were any marks, it might have been polished off long ago. I even looked under the label, nothing. Well, I'll keep on looking. You know, you never know. There might be a little trace of a stamp mark, hallmark. But yeah, I couldn't find anything. I didn't do a silver test. I should. But it looks, you know, it has all the telltale corrosion signs of silver. But it's still a nice item. You can look, there's the bamboo pattern, they call it. See these little tiny circles? That's definitely a Chinese design pattern of that era. So again, similar to these, probably 1900-ish, 1900 to 1920 for this kind of item. Pretty cheap for 10 bucks anyways, even if it's not silver. I mean, very collectible. Found this. Oh, actually, one of the thrift stores found this for half price. So it's not a very heavy chain, silver chain for 5 bucks. So how can you say no to a $5 silver chain? You can't say no, right? So I picked that up. And the best find out of the whole month was at Value Village. Just got rolled off the cart, or onto, you know, the cart's rolled out. And I saw this, and you know what? When I see picture frames with like real wood backings, like the quality looks very aristocratic, all right? Like, you know, very high end, like a rich person's item. Right away, I was thinking England. Right away, I was thinking sterling frame. But I was pleasantly surprised, all right? So when I find these things, right away, what I do is look on the edge. So I looked at the edge, and lo and behold, it's not just a silver frame, but look who makes it. You got to see this. right? Let's see, can you see this? It's so hard to focus on there. All right. Maybe I'll just angle it a bit. All right, really difficult to do with single hand here. Just trying to focus it. So it says here, Tiffany & Co. 925, Italy. This tiny thing, can you believe it? Resells for about $200. So this was an awesome find and definitely a keeper. I would not sell this. You could say it's one of my bucket list items. Anything Tiffany, if I can find it cheap, I will pick it up. Because this is like money in the bank. Whenever you need cash, throw it on Facebook Marketplace, someone will pick this up lickety split. Beautiful. And the fact that it's silver. I mean, I'm thinking you gotta probably 3/4 of an ounce or 1 ounce of sterling silver. Very nice. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video of wonderful finds. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Coinpicker out.